Well, Giants fans, they couldn't do it. They could not beat Philly twice. And at least they split. Could be worse. They could be 0-2 like they were last year. Fine. But this was not how this game was supposed to go. Just on so many levels. There's a lot of frustrations that I have coming out of this game. But at the same time, it's also like, well, this is the Giants. What do I expect, right? Like, God forbid I expect a team that actually knows what the hell they're doing when they go out on the field on Sunday. But I want to start with the injuries because I think that this plus the atrocious officiating were big reasons as to why this game went the way that it did. Now, I am not saying that if the Giants get those 2 calls or if the refs don't suck ass that they definitely win this, but it would have been closer at the very least. So that is very frustrating to me. But the Giants lose Scat. And before they lose Scat, they lose cornerback Art Green to a hamstring. Now, some of you would say, I don't care about Art Green. This isn't important. I'll tell you why it's important. Number 1, he's actually pretty good on special teams. Number 2, he is the backup outside corner. So it's important when you lose him and then you lose Scat, who obviously a huge piece of this offense, devastating to every single person on that field. Scat got a standing ovation when he got carted off. He's already getting surgery tonight. He has a dislocated ankle. The time frame for him being out is unsure, but I think it's likely he's not coming back this year. So I just want him to have a successful surgery, get ready for next year. We're going to have him and Leak back next year. And that, like, I just want them to be healthy for next year. We're 2-6, so let's worry about next year for now. So then they lose Scat. Then, starting corner, Cordell Flott goes down. Okay, it's bad enough we have to watch Tay Banks out there, who they trotted out every goddamn play. And this is like a whole, I can't even talk about the fact that this was their decision. Because not only was a stupid one, everyone with a brain knew that that was going to be a horrible, horrible choice. And the worst part about it was that they didn't even, let's look at their passing stats. They had 179 yards passing, which in the grand scheme of things is not a ton, okay? They didn't beat us by passing for 5 touchdowns, okay? They beat us because we don't know how to tackle and because we can't stop the run, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Okay, so now you lose Cordell Flott, who gets hit in the head by Bobby Okereke, his own goddamn teammate, and is out with a concussion. And now I cannot with this football team. Okay, so you lose Cordell Flott, and Art Green would be the next one up because he's been with this team for over a year now, knows the playbook, and would have been ready to go. Has played a few snaps at this point. But no, because he's injured, now we have to see Corey Black out there, which I would have taken Corey Black over Tay Banks to begin with, but what do I know? And then they lose Bellinger to a neck injury. So it's like, it just was a colossal shit show when it comes to injuries. Just a bad day overall. I think it was going to be hard for the Giants to redeem themselves after losing Scat. I think they did a relatively decent job. The next throw that Dart makes is perfect to Darius Slayton. A perfect deep ball. And you know what? Dart has been struggling with the deep ball. He hasn't been super accurate. That one, perfect. What does Slayton do? Drop it. This was the other thing that was extremely frustrating to me during this game. You lose Scat, who you know is your right-handed guy, okay? Can someone besides Tyrone Tracy step up and make a play? And Tyrone Tracy only ended up with 39 rushing yards. We had 68 rushing yards in this whole game. 68 rushing yards. That's embarrassing, okay? On top of that, you've got wide receivers who are not doing their job. So when you lose one of the most productive players on your offense, anyone has to step up, and not a single one of them did. And then you lose Bellinger, who's one of the more reliable pass catchers on this team, and you're stuck throwing to people who, I don't know, can't or won't decide to catch the ball. So the injury is obviously a mess, just a mess. But if you think that was bad, let's talk about the run defense, who a mere 2 weeks ago, Saquon Barkley rushed for 58 yards. 58. Today, he ran for 150. 150. And then he left the game with a little hip or something injury, groin, whatever they said. And then Bigsby, their backup, runs for another 104 yards. So, great job. Listen, I know we were missing Paulson Adebo. I know we were missing Javon Hollins. We all thought we were going to miss Paulson Adebo more, and by God, did we miss him. We most certainly did. But maybe we were all underestimating the fact that Holland is much better in the run game than any of us ever thought he was. Because apparently, he's the only other person until Cordell Flott went down, and Saquon Barkley was giving up 65, or was running 65-yard runs before that all happened. So I don't understand how that happens. It's the same team. They were missing their starting center. They have been awful in the run this whole year. I know they had Lane Dickerson back. He gave up an insane flag, which he's probably not given up in years. He wasn't 100% himself, and we still couldn't take advantage. It's just so frustrating. There's no consistency. None whatsoever. They go out there and they play well one week. The Chargers is the only complimentary football game that I think I've ever seen from this team. They go out, they did it the second time around versus the Eagles. They blow it against the Saints. They blow it against the Broncos. And I'm starting to think, and this is probably wrong, but this is my opinion, I'm starting to think that the defense might be doing it on purpose because they don't like Shane Bowen, which is crazy and probably not true. But they're not that bad. I refuse to believe that the talent on this defense is that bad. It's just not. Someone is not helping them, is not putting them in a position to succeed, because Abdul Carter is insane. Brian Burns has 10 sacks. 10 sacks. This defense has multiple interceptions, one of them by Dexter Lawrence, who's 340 pounds. Cordell Flott is playing the best football that he's played in 4 years. So why is this defense so bad? Why? Why do they give up 33 points in one quarter? Okay, they're tired. Cry me a river. It's week 7 and week 8 of the NFL football season. I don't want to hear that you're tired. It's not week 1. We all give everyone a grace period the first 4 weeks. Everyone always says, the first 4 weeks are an extension of preseason. Okay, we're in the second quarter of the season now. We're almost halfway through. Come on. Why is Brian Burns the only one who never looks tired? And when he is tired, he still never gives up and gives 100% every goddamn play. The tiredness is bullshit. It's bullshit. They play 60 minutes of football. That's it. And there's a halftime break, and they get commercial breaks, and they get oxygen, and there's breaks when the offense is on the field. And I know that the offense has not been on the field sustaining very long drives. That is a piece of it, sure. But for you to give up 276 yards on the ground is despicable. Despicable, I tell you. And again, it's the lack of consistency. If they did that every single week, which they kind of did last year, fine, you're used to it, right? But just 2 weeks ago, even last year, I don't even know what it was, they didn't give up that many rushing yards to the Broncos. We ran more than the Broncos did on the Broncos defense, who is, one of the best run defenses in the league. So we're in a Philly. There's no altitude. I don't want to hear it's so frustrating to me. And I really, really believe that the coach is the biggest part of it. Look, we are lacking depth. I am not saying that every single person on this defense is a top 10 in their position and they are a superstar, but they are not bums, okay? A lot of them have a lot of talent. Just gave you all the rundown of all of them. Kayvon, the first 5 weeks, playing unbelievable football. He's been a little hit or miss the last 2 weeks. But outside of that, he hasn't been horrible. Why is Tyler Nubin? Looks like a shell of himself from last year. Slow, taking bad angles, can't tackle. Why is he not improving in year 2? Drew Phillips finally didn't get any insane DPIs this week. Those are some of the worst plays that we've had that have ruined our defense. Didn't have a single one of those. Not even Tay Banks. Tay Banks didn't even get a DPI call, and he's usually good for at least one a game. And the guy played an entire game today. 60 minutes. Not a single DPI. It's inexcusable. Just unbelievable. And the worst part is I really think there's going to be no accountability. I don't think that they're going to make a move with the defensive coordinator. I don't think they're going to change anything. And I could be so wrong about this. And to be honest, I hope that I am, because I think a change is imminent. And I think the sooner the better, because you are wasting everyone's talent. You are wasting everyone's year. Jackson Dart is talking in the post game about how he's not cool with the losing. And he's devastated for Scat, and he's upset about the way that this game ended. He feels like they were dominated, and he's not used to that happening to him. So it's a rude awakening, my guy. Welcome to New York. Sorry. But let's go. Someone has to help him turn it around, including himself. He's not perfect. He made some mistakes today. We'll talk about it. But overall, he didn't turn the ball over, made good decisions, had two perfect throws at the minimum to Theo Johnson, back shoulder. Unacceptable that he didn't catch that. Darius Slayton, one-handed grab. Unacceptable that he didn't catch it. And while we're at it, let's talk about how unacceptable it is that the refs are a goddamn joke. Are you kidding me? On the first play of the game, that's when we all should have known it was going to be downhill with the refs. Because on the first play of the game, they throw a flag on the Eagles, and then they have a little chat with Nick Sirianni. Oh, pick up the flag. It's gone. It's gone. Okay, sure. That's how it works. Sure. The play on the tush push. If they don't ban the goddamn tush push tonight, we have severe problems. And I already dislike Roger Goodell for a slew of reasons. This is the last straw. You better ban that goddamn play, because the refs do not know how to officiate it. They don't know. You know why? Because it's not a football play. We're not playing rugby out there. We're playing American football, which doesn't include the tush push. Jalen's knee was not down, okay? That's what happens. When the knee is down, then it's not a fumble. His knee was not down. Kayvon did the smart play there and recovered it. And the fact that they didn't call that a fumble is ridiculous. The fact that the national media, that former players are screaming all over Twitter, that Tom Brady is saying on the broadcast that that's a bad call, that's disgusting. They need to be... I saw a lot of tweets about this, and I'm getting in on it. The FBI needs to be called, and they need to be investigated. Because the OPI on Slayton, again, the national media, Tom Brady, who everyone and their mother respects. Everyone knows who Tom Brady is. Him calling that a weak OPI call when the Eagles player is pulling on his jersey, okay. Negates a touchdown. At the very least, the Giants should have had at least one more touchdown on the board, and the Eagles should have had one less. And that includes you, Saquon, because you shouldn't have had that touchdown. The refs were disgusting, and I hate them. And if everyone is going to get in on the AI thing, and they're finally going to get rid of the chain gang, and they're going to do that, you have to do it with the refs. Because Major League Baseball is doing it with the ABS system, and it needs to be the same thing in football, especially if you don't know what the hell to do on the tush push play, which we see every goddamn week. Every week. The Eagles get away with murder on the tush push. It's ridiculous. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. And I'm so sick of the NFL sitting by and saying, nah, 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 nah. We don't care. We don't care. We know you don't. You don't care about anything except money. That is very clear. We're aware. We need to talk about all the betting stuff. Oh, you guys are not on the betting and you understand it's serious. Okay. ESPN bet, NFL bet. Go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Tell me. Okay. It's unfortunate that gambling is playing a big part in these roles, and I will not be surprised, which they won't do this, but if they investigate it, I will not be surprised if we found out that there are refs betting on the games. We've all seen a Chiefs game, right? Know how that goes. Know how much money the NFL and the Chiefs made since Taylor Swift has come along. Since all of a sudden, they start getting a million calls their way. We know. We're not stupid. Okay, anyway, that was a long rant. So anyway, very, very disappointing game. Extremely devastating that we lost Scat, was playing at an unbelievable level, obviously brings a lot of energy, a lot of spunk, everything to this team. So, definitely hard for them to come back for that, but they will, and I think Scat will be okay. So there were a lot of positives that came out of this game. We're going to talk about it tomorrow, like Brian Burns having double-digit sacks, like Jackson Dart making some smart decisions out there, like the offensive line who's playing amazing, like Abdul Carter, who is a beast today. So we'll talk about all the good stuff tomorrow, so make sure you subscribe for more.